Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. We've got a bunch of news for you today, and there's some really big news, especially concerning Expedition 33. So if you do find this information useful or simply want to support the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release. I know we've lost a few subs along the way, especially last week when that video came out, but you know what, it was totally justified, and those people that didn't like it are free to leave. But I'm sure most of you that are still coming back and watching this, the 75 of you that haven't actually yet subscribed, the 75% of you that continue to come back will enjoy this video, and hopefully you will help change the tide. Right, so first up we have Towerborne. Towerborne is now officially available on PC and Xbox via Game Pass Preview. If you haven't yet actually gone and checked this out, it is 13 gigabytes on PC to download, and I think it's about 15 gigabytes on console. It's not a very big game, but it is a pretty awesome game, and I'm probably going to be checking this out on Thursday over at Twitch if there's not much news going around for the Thursday standard YouTube stream. So hopefully I'll see you there and we can check this out, and we can even pick a few people up from the community to actually play multiplayer as well, because it is up to 4 players. Good stuff there. Now this one is actually quite interesting because it's more indicating towards GTA 6. Now Borderlands 4, as you know, is going to have its state of play tomorrow at 10 PM GMT. At least I believe that's what it is. Sony have got the marketing rights for Borderlands 4, but what is interesting here is that they've moved up the launch date of Borderlands 4 to September 12th. Now they've basically moved this away from Marathon, but I don't think Marathon is really the one that they're worried about. I think it's GTA 6, and they're trying to get this out before GTA 6 actually launches. Now I'm still on the mind that GTA 6 is going to be a 2026 launch. I think it's going to get delayed on the last minute, but this is an indication that that may not be the case, and these guys clearly talk within the industry, so they may know stuff that we don't, and at the end of the day, this does at least give a small hint that GTA 6 could actually land this year. It's really weird that this is a Borderlands 4 post, but the most important factor coming from this is a potential GTA 6 GTA 6 launch date. Let that sink in for a second. But hey, will you be checking out the super exclusive and serendipitous state of play? Because I know a bunch of people, even on the Sony side, who pretty much are not interested and are disappointed that this is a state of play and not something like, say, Ghost of Yotei. Okay, Wuchang Fallen Feathers is coming July 24th, 2025. Day 1 with Game Pass and Xbox, and if we actually play this, it's pretty cool. 505 games. Now this was kind of like the Wuchang game that they were kind of like the Wuchang competitor, but it's different, and it's different. I mean, it's very different, but this is the one I was more interested in than the actual, Wuchang one. I think the game just looks better. It looks more appealing, at least to me, and overall I just love the style of the game as well. Now this is clearly just a trailer of the game, but as you can see, the Onis, the demons, they just look mental. Just crazy stuff. And yet still waifu. They clearly know what they're going for. And I'm just going to run away. But here we have the gameplay. As you can see, lots of parrying, dodging. But the combat actually looks really fun, really fast-paced, really interesting. And overall, I'm pretty excited for this one. Now, I saw a bunch of publications like Xbox Zero saying that this was just announced and it's coming thing, but this was announced like last year, so we've known about this for a year now, so it's nothing new. So if you're seeing any publications actually saying that, you know, I would question it, because if you go back to last year June's update, this is the thing. So expect this to be at the at Xbox's showcase on June the 8th, because it's going to be landing shortly after. Now we come to the big information, and that is, of course, Expedition 33. 1 million copies were sold. Obviously, on Xbox, we do not know how many copies were sold. Microsoft does not release those numbers. But people have been talking about the cannibalization of Xbox and how Xbox Game Pass cannibalizes sales. Yes, it does. You know, we had this discussion on my stream today. If I'm playing this on Game Pass, I'm just not buying it digitally. Now, I did actually go and try and buy this as a collector's edition, and if they ever make the collector's edition available again, I'll pick that up. But ultimately, I'm not buying this digitally. So that's where the cannibalization comes in. If the game's on Game Pass, I have very little reason to go out and buy it. Now, exceptional games do come across, and maybe down the line I will pick this up when I find it for a cheaper price. But because it's on Game Pass, that's where the cannibalization comes in. But it doesn't really matter, because it balances itself out. And as Woz actually says, let's not ignore Game Pass is responsible for the exposure, reach, which allows more players to get eyes on the game, find out it's a good game. It indirectly pushes other platform sales up. Everyone wins. So even though Xbox is actually giving them a sack of money, their advertising is actually the number of people that played this on Game Pass, which is roughly, from what I've heard, is roughly about 1 million people that have played it. That's insane, because if those 1 million people are enjoying it, that word of mouth goes out, right? And it just exposes the game even more. So in my opinion, there is no real loser here. The developers got a wad of cash, which they were happy with. They worked with Microsoft to get this game done. Game Pass subscribers get the game day one, and PlayStation fans get to pay $50 for the game. Win-win situation. But the best thing that's coming out of this, of course, is that the lead writer of Soundfall Interactive, Jennifer Svedberg, Yen, says chances for Clear Obscure Expedition 33 DLC are good. So I'm assuming that they actually made their money and then some, especially with the wad of cash that Microsoft usually gives them. That normally actually covers the development costs more or less. And if that was the case, then the money that they've made off the sales alone will have just been more or less just profit. And the success that it's been getting, 92 on Metacritic, 96 or 97 on player ratings, that's insane. And I mean, from what I've played of the game so far, I absolutely love it. It is absolutely contender for Game of the Year this year. That is 2 games now on Game Pass that is Game of the Year contender. You've got Blueprints and now Expedition 33. You should absolutely check out Blueprints if you haven't yet. It looks like such a simple game, but once you get into it, it is devilishly addictive. And let me know if you ever do get to the Echo, you know, the chamber at the very top. But Expedition 33 is on a roll, and the fact that they're even talking about DLC and that the chances are good makes me happy. Not only that, details of a live action Clear Obscure Expedition 33 are actually in play here. It's apparently going to be co-developed by the Sonic franchise producers, and casting a director are now underway. I'm actually super excited to see how this will actually look in a live action setting, especially with the success of the Last of Us TV series, the Fallout TV series, Fallout especially, that was a monumental success. And so, you know, you've got like the Minecraft movie, so you can see more of these companies are starting to, you know, push into that live action side and to deliver a compelling, entertaining show. So hopefully this will actually be good. Now, this is the last thing I want to talk about. Now, not all of these are going to be available on Xbox, of course, because Hunter is the one actually posting this, but that's a lot of games coming in May. Shotgun Shop, Captain Blood, you got Spirit of the North, The Precinct. I know a couple of my friends are actually really looking for that. Yasha is actually another really good one. Doom the Dark Ages, of course. Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Deliver at All Costs, Onimusha 2 Remastered, Blades of Fire, Elden Ring, Night Rain. I mean, that's an enormous amount of games landing at the end, but you know, just throughout the whole of May. That's crazy. That's absolutely bonkers. But hey, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did you enjoy the video? And if you have, please do consider leaving a like, subscribe, a comment, and hitting that bell to stay up to date with all content I release. Again, 75% of you are returning viewers, which I absolutely appreciate from the bottom of my heart, but you're unsubscribed. Please do consider subscribing, as it really does help the channel grow. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and it just helps me with future opportunities. Thanks so much for watching, and if you want to support the channel further, you can do that via the super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member, where you get content like this earlier than anyone else. Right, everyone? Remain legend.